Hi everybody, this is Mrs. Migdal, and today we're going to talk about simple and compound sentences. So we've been talking a lot about sentences, and at this point we should all know what a sentence is and what a sentence needs to be a sentence. You need a subject, and a subject is what the sentence is about. It is the noun or the pronoun and all the words that go with it. We also need a predicate. And a predicate is the action of a sentence, and it is the verb and all of the words that go with it. So, I run. Is this a sentence? It actually is a sentence. I is a pronoun, and that is who the sentence is about. And what I do is I run. Run is the action. So you have your subject, you have your predicate, and you have a complete thought. I run. That is indeed a sentence. Here's a more normal looking sentence. The hungry kids ate all the pizza. Let's look at the parts of this. Kids is your simple subject. The hungry kids is your complete subject because those are the words that go with kids. They describe the kids. Ate is your verb. And ate all the pizza is your predicate because all the pizza goes with ate. Now, if you took all the extra words out and you just looked at the simple subject and the verbs, you would have the kids ate. That too is a sentence. It's a bare bones sentence, but it has the parts of a sentence and it makes sense. It's a complete thought. The kids ate. Here are two sentences. I'm going to have you stop and answer the questions to your right to check your understanding of subjects and predicates. So we traveled to South Carolina during the summer, and I should study for the test. Now let's take a closer look at a simple sentence. A simple sentence is also called an independent clause. Independent clause is a synonym for simple sentence. It's just another name. And as we look at bigger sentences, you'll understand why. So the definition of a simple sentence is a sentence that contains a subject and a predicate and expresses a complete thought. So here's a couple of sentences that we're going to use to look at simple sentences and compound sentences. The children go to school, and I like books about World War II. Compound sentences. A compound sentence is a sentence that contains two or more independent clauses that are joined by a coordinating conjunction. There is always a comma between the independent clauses. I'm going to read that again to you more slowly. Think about the words as I read it. A compound sentence is a sentence that contains two or more independent clauses that are joined by a coordinating conjunction. There is always a comma between the two independent clauses. The word that jumps out at me is coordinating conjunction. What is that? Well, it's a word that joins the two independent clauses or the two simple sentences. I'm going to give you an easier word for coordinating conjunction. We're going to call it fanboys. So there's only 7 of them. There are 7 words that are going to connect sentences to make them a compound sentence. We have for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And those are known as the fanboys. So, a compound sentence is a sentence that contains 2 or more independent clauses that are joined by a fanboys. And we have to say a fanboys because the S is not there to be plural. It is there to stand for the word so. So it's going to sound a little awkward. Let's try it out. The children go to school. Oh, and there's that other sentence. I like books about World War II. Let's see if we can turn these into compound sentences. The children go to school and they learn a lot in English class. There's our fanboys. There's that comma. On the left side, we see a complete sentence, an independent clause. It has a subject, the children. It has a predicate, go to school. On the right side, we have a complete thought. They is the subject, learn a lot in English class. They are connected by that fanboy and a comma. So the children go to school and they learn a lot of English, a lot in English class is a compound sentence. All right, let's try the other one. I like books about World War II. So I check them out at the library. Let's test it. There's the fanboy. There's the comma. On the left side, I see a complete thought. I is the subject. Like books about World War II. And on the right-hand side, I also see a complete sentence. I is the subject. Check them out from the library. So again, this is a compound sentence. I like books about World War II, comma, so I check them out at the library. Okay, that's all a compound sentence is. It's pretty simple. Two independent clauses connected by a fanboy and a comma. But sometimes we get confused about compound sentences. Let's look at a couple of sentences that might look like compound sentences, but they're not. And let's start again with our same sentence. The children go to school. How about this sentence? The children and the dogs go to school. Is that a compound sentence? Well, I see my fanboy. And on the right side, I see a complete sentence. The dogs is the subject, and they go to school. But on the left, I only see a subject. I don't see a verb. So it's not equal on both sides. There's not a complete sentence on the left and a complete sentence on the right. It's not balanced. So this is not a compound sentence. That is actually a simple sentence with a compound subject. The dogs and the children go together, and those things are both going to school. So that would be called a compound subject, but it is not a compound sentence. Okay, let's try this sentence. I like books about World War II. I like books about World War II, but not movies. There's our fanboy. And on the left-hand side, I see a subject, I, and I see a predicate, like books about World War II. But on the right-hand side, I don't. I see two words, not movies. I don't really see a subject. I don't really see a verb. So it's not equal on both sides. So that is not. So a compound sentence is a sentence that contains two or more independent clauses that are joined by a fanboys. And a comma. Don't forget that comma. It's very important. This is the end of the video. So now I want you to go and practice. There's my fanboy. And each side of that fanboy has a complete sentence. Bye.